it is very interesting and encouraging that many more people are reading the Quran at this time than even in the previous generation. And this is because there is much more interest in Islam throughout the world, and also more people are educated and they are interested and curious about understanding what Islam stands for, what the Quran stands for. And among the people who are reading the Quran, there are Muslims, but also an increasing number of non-Muslims. They are reading the Quran. However, there is a very common misunderstanding that blocks people from understanding what the Quran is saying, and it causes confusion and unnecessary differences of opinions and sometimes conflicts. And this is the assumption that people make, that the Quran is like a continuous reading. That is, you can read it like any other book, starting from page 1 to the last page. It is a mistake to think like this because the Quran structure is different from other books. And this structure arose because of the way it was revealed to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Now, we all know that the Quran was revealed over a period of 22 years. And the first 5 short ayahs, starting with Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, were revealed when Prophet Muhammad was meditating in the cave of Hira. However, after that, there was a period of many months before the second set of revelations came to him. And they are in a different surah. And after that, revelations came when the Prophet needed guidance or inspiration. And many times there were long intervals. So according to the hadith, there was even a period of 3 years when no revelation came to him. So this is something very well known to students of the Quran or those who study the life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that the revelations of ayahs to the Prophet came at irregular intervals, in an intermittent fashion. However, now we have the Quran as a book, and it feels natural to read it in sequence, like we learn to read books in school. You can open the book and read it from page 1 to page 15 or page 40 to page 50 in a short time, maybe in half an hour. When we read like this, we get confused because there are many multiple insights in a long passage or in several pages, and actually the subject matter often changes after a few lines. And it is also important to know that this has nothing to do with the language you speak. So the vast majority of Muslims in the world are not Arabic speaking. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, at this time, many non-Muslim people are also reading the Quran. But the difficulty that I am describing is experienced by Arabic speaking and non-Arabic speaking people alike. And this happens if you don't pay attention to the fact that the Quran is not continuous reading. In most of the surahs, there are messages received at different times, and they carry different insights. And unless you pay attention to that, you will be confused. And you can do this experiment yourself. You can open the Quran and read 15 or 20 pages. And afterwards you can ask yourself, what is it that I learned from this reading? And I can assure you, most of the time you won't be able to come with a good answer. Now, what I want to say here is that you can overcome this difficulty by reading the Quran in a different way, by paying attention to how it is structured. And that is, you pick an ayah that you like and you focus on it for a long time. It can be 1 or 2 or 3 ayahs that have a meaning or a message that resonates with you. So you then think about it for a period of time. You ask yourself, what is this ayah saying to me? How does this relate to my life? Or what is the benefit in this teaching that in the Quran that I am reading? So if you think like this for a long time or for a sufficiently long time, you will find answers to your questions, and your understanding of life will grow, and you will then see how amazing are the insights found in the Quran.